Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We just got confirmation that the U.S. is participating in these attacks. The first word that came across the wire services was that these were Israeli-only attacks, Israeli preemptive attacks against the Iranians. But the U.S., Lucas, we are told, is participating, and that's no great surprise.
No, and officials told me the same thing, John, at the start of this broadcast, that this was a combined U.S. and Israeli strike against Iran.
James Golden, Snurley here with you. It is our number duo, ladies and gentlemen. No Princess, he's going to be on with both of us. Just so much going on here today, ladies and gentlemen. The strikes in Iran, what it will mean for the world. I just got word via text that, and of course I don't have the wherewithal to vet it, but the text that I got is that the Supreme Leader of Iran, Khomeini, is going to speak on television. So apparently he's still on the earth plane, although the compound was hit. Welcome to our number duo. Joining us from Washington, D.C., although he lives in Israel part of the time, our very own Mideast amazing analyst, correspondent, Joel Rosenberg. Joel is one of the preeminent authors in the world of Mideast, how shall we say, matters. His books, in the form of novels, have been widely read by the leaders of the region because of their predictive nature. Joel and I, the history goes back so many decades. Joel and I have known each other. Joel, welcome. How are you this morning?
Well, James, it's great to be with you. I am safe. I happen to be here in Washington. I was invited by Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to attend the State of the Union earlier this week, and been here for speeches and media. So it's interesting, and my wife just landed in the States after flying out, one of the last flights out of Israel, not to escape. We've been through the whole hellish last 2.5 years, but we've got meetings here in Washington. So, but this is history, James. It's great to talk to you. This is the most consequential moment in the modern Middle East since the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, which I believe was prophetic, actual literal Bible prophecy coming true. But in terms of the United States, no American president has ever dealt decisively with the Iranian regime, which has killed and wounded and maimed more Americans than any government in the world since the Vietnamese War in the 60s and early 70s. So this is big. President Trump is doing something that no other American president was willing to do. And I think it's right for America. It's certainly a blessing to Israel, but make no mistake, Israel's on the front line. We're taking the inbound right now, and but we're willing because we believe this Iranian regime is the most wicked regime on the planet, and that's saying something.
Okay, Joe, first of all, let's just backtrack for a moment. Many of these people not only do you know, you have spoken with. You have a relationship with Israel's PM, Benjamin Netanyahu. You have talked to many of the leaders in the Middle East, including from the Saudis on. What do you think the impact of this operation will be in the region and then beyond?
Well, that's fascinating, James. You're absolutely right. I've been fortunate to be able to spend time with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman twice for many, many hours, and the President of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed, and the leaders of Bahrain and the King of Jordan and so forth. And one of the things that's fascinating, and all of them and their senior advisors are telling me they support what the president is doing. They, of course, as you can understand, James, have been sensitive in recent weeks and months not to get out in front of the president, and some of them have even put out messages that suggested that they didn't want President Trump to act. Why? For fear if he didn't, that these moderate Arab countries would be vulnerable to Iranian terror and attack and missile attacks and so forth. But what you're watching this morning, what I'm watching closely, is every Arab regime in the region is putting out very strong statements doing what? Condemning Iran, not condemning Israel, not condemning the United States. So what we're watching is now that the president is acting, our friends and allies are showing public courage that I have believed because I know them, but, I think fair enough, most Americans would think, are these Arabs with us or not? Like, they seem like they're unwilling to engage Iran, but they don't have the capability to engage Iran directly. And, of course, Israel has been fighting Iran directly and alone, except for those wonderful hours in June of last year when President Trump did what no other president was willing to do, which was use military force, American military force, the best in the world, to take out Iran's main nuclear weapons facilities. But now the president has given the Iranian regime every opportunity to make peace, to give up its offensive military capabilities, its terror support. They would not do it. And thank God for the decisiveness and the moral courage of President Trump. I think he's going to go down in history as one of the most consequential leaders in American history.
So when you look, Joel, at, again, the region now, Iraqi has Iranian militias that are, and by the way, even when our presence in Iraq was strong, the Iranians were working not only with IEDs to attack American military, but also to build up a network of supporters that would serve the interest of Iran. You have the Houthis, you have Hezbollah, you have Hamas, you have all of the proxies of the Iranian state, in many cases, why they were called the largest sponsor of state terror in the world.
Right.
What does this action do if you have the proxies still in place, but the Iranian government is either weakened or not taken out completely?
Yeah, well, there are a number of ways this could go badly, but I don't think that it will. Let me give you an example that already Israel should be under attack by Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. Like, we should be under showers of, an avalanche of missiles and rockets from both directions. Neither have fired. Why? Because the Hamas doesn't have any more rockets, or if they do, we are killing or dismantling every person that in the Hamas, terror operation. So they are so badly damaged. Are they done? No, they're not done. We still have to finish them off in Gaza, but they're almost done, and they're not attacking. In Lebanon, Israel actually has continued attacking with President Trump's full support in recent weeks. At where? Specifically at missile launching bases and missile launchers and stockpiles of ballistic missiles. Right? It's not that Hezbollah doesn't have the capability. It's that when Israel took out all of its top leadership last year, a year and a half ago, and with those explosive pagers and walkie-talkies, nobody who is running a missile launching base dares pick up a phone, right? So they haven't had the command and control capability. So we're not seeing the proxies attack. The Houthis haven't attacked either yet. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying the Iranian regime and its terror network is on its knees. And President Trump decided not to breathe life into them the way Obama would have, the way Biden did. Trump is finishing them off. He gave them an off-ramp diplomatically. They didn't take it. He didn't expect them to take it, but he wanted to show the world that he doesn't have a trigger finger. He doesn't have an itchy finger. He gave them a chance, and they would not take it. And he is finishing them off. And I think this is just an extraordinary day, and it's just the beginning.
Wow. Joe, this is just incredible. I just wanted to ask you very briefly, too, about this. You mentioned at the beginning of your time with us this morning, your visit with us, that in a way this is fulfilling prophecy. I got text right away about that. Can you briefly explain to people what you meant by that?
Yeah, happy to. Thanks for asking. There's a prophecy in the Old Testament, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49. It's in the last 13 verses or so. And it talks, the ancient name of Iran in biblical times, one of the names was Elam, E-L-A-M. And this is a prophecy about the future of Iran, what they called Elam back in the day. And it says, what will happen in the last days? It says that God will be so angry, he will have a fierce anger, and he will destroy the king and its princes. That's Bible talk for regime change. It will destroy the bow and the finest of their might. What is a bow in ancient warfare? Well, it's not the arrow. It's what fires the arrow, right? Now, this prophecy was never fulfilled, and there's more to it, but I just mean it's the destruction, not of Iran, but of Iran's leadership and offensive military capabilities. And what we watched last summer was the beginning, in my view, of the fulfillment of Jeremiah 49. And the question I've been wondering is, wow, is it possible we're going to see an actual Bible prophecy come true in our lifetime? Not just the rebirth of Israel, but the actual destruction of the leadership of Iran and its ability to project terror the way a bow can do in the hands of an ancient warrior. And we'll see, right? Let's not jump to a conclusion, but it's a fascinating prophecy. Almost nobody writes or talks about it, but I think we might be watching it played out in real time on Fox and even on CNN and what's left of MSNBC.
Joe, we're going to ask you to come back with us in the next hour. A reunion of sorts. Princess Diana will be with us.
Wonderful.
And so we're going to have a little reunion, the three of us.
I love it.
I love it too. Joel, thank you so much. We will rejoin.
Thanks for listening to The James Golden Show. You can hear The James Golden Show Saturday mornings at 7. If you like the podcast, Share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best our nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families' health. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.